Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. So Ann Coulter tweeted this, New York Times. Microsoft's co-founder, Paul Allen, to give $125 million to teach machines common sense. And her comment was, he can't afford the technology to teach liberals common sense. Welcome to the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. 844-551-8255. So, hey, how about this one? This is an interesting thing that I saw on Twitter. College kids pledge to remove their testicles if Trump builds a wall. And I thought to myself, wow, what are these college women going to do without those when they decide they want to marry each other? Because the boys don't have them. That's for sure. Oh, my goodness. Robert Kiyosaki said of blame, when people are lame, they love to blame. Kind of out of the Jesse Jackson school of poetry, but still very true. When people are lame, they love to blame. And that's what we're finding out. And I know people on the left want to apply this to us. They say, oh, you guys blame, the Democrats for this, or you blame Barack Obama for this. There are times when blame is correct. But let me tell you, we live in a time where it's been flipped. They blame us for all the wrong reasons. They blame guns when a kid goes and shoots up a school. They blame, look, do I really need to go item by item? They blame us for an economy that was built on high taxes, tax and spend. And then when Donald Trump comes in and cuts it, they want to blame him. And they say the way that they blame him is by saying, oh, the money you got back is crumbs. They don't look at accountability. They take no blame. It's tough to talk about the left because sometimes, it's so illogical. You can't really put it into words. It's tough to boil it down. But I know we've got a lot of examples, so maybe that helps out. What do we want to talk about? I'll give you a good example. I just thought of one that works. So Chuck Schumer doesn't want Quattlebaum to be the judge, to be a judge in South Carolina, a federal judge, because he's white. Now, the left will tell you that they want to eradicate racism. They want to stop, that people should be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. They want to give you the doctrines of Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Martin Luther King. But the minute they do it, then they come right out of themselves and go, well, we can't let, Quattlebaum be a federal judge because he's white. We have a clip, don't we?
The nomination of Marvin Quattlebaum speaks to the overall lack of diversity in President Trump's selections for the federal judiciary. Mr. Quattlebaum replaces not one, but two scuttled Obama nominees who were African American. As of February 14th, 83% of the President Trump's confirmed nominees were male, 92% were white. That represents the lowest share of non-white candidates in 3 decades. It's long past time that the judiciary starts looking a lot more like the America it represents. Having a diversity of views and experience on the federal bench is necessary for the equal administration of justice. After years of improvement, the Trump administration, like in so many other areas, is taking a giant step backward, this time when it comes to diversity of their nominations. I'll be voting no on the Quattlebaum nomination.
That's right, Quattlebaum. Look, I don't know what his background is. He sounds Jewish. It's Quattlebaum. So you got a Jew saying, I don't want another Jew. Again, is that a battle that we need to look at? All I care about from Quattlebaum is he qualified? Now, don't misunderstand me. You do need to understand the plight of other people. But can you not get that from just looking at, understanding human nature and being among the public? What do we know? Has this guy walked in the shoes of whom? Or, young black men? And you get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying he's got to grow up in the hood, but he can certainly understand things. Here's Chuck Schumer. He apparently understands the situation. He's fighting for the rights of all these other people. So I'll put it to you another way. In order for you to understand the plight of a woman, maybe she's been beaten by her husband. Maybe she killed her husband because he was beating her. Do you have to be a woman in order to understand that? Or can you have understood it through your wealth of experiences? The left, man, they pretend the only way you can legislate people and understand them is you got to be black. You got to be black in a black neighborhood, grown up black, or brown. That's the only way you can understand. You have to have been a woman in order to understand women's issues. You don't have to have had a mother or raised daughters or been married to a woman or have sisters. No, you can't understand unless you've been a woman. I mean, what's this thing they get every month? What's they call it, like a cycle? Can somebody explain that to me? Yeah, because how would I know? I'm not a woman. Yeah, there's no possibility of me knowing anything about that. Or you, if you're a guy who's suffering from toxic masculinity. What a racist thing to say. That because you're a woman, you can't, a man, you can't, a white guy, you can't be a judge here. A woman, you can't understand men's things. A man, you can understand women's things. A legal citizen, you can't understand the plight of immigrants, legal or otherwise, etc. What a dangerous precedent. And it's a precedent we've lived by in America for a long time. People have guilted us into believe that diversity and multiculturalism is a good. Multiculturalism is the scourge of society because it makes people believe that it's based on race or, some sort of ethnicity, or it's based on religion and all these different things. No, there's one culture in America. There's one culture that should be pervasive of Germany or France or whatever. And everybody who comes over there embraces that culture. And that could be a mosaic of different people. We've gone so far in the other direction. And part of it is because we don't ever look at the root causes of things. I talked about, gun control earlier and how people, won't even look at the problem of gun control. They look at, I'm talking about the actual problem. They look at the gun and they act like that's the deal. That's not the case. Here's a clip from a guy talking about this. Sean Duffy talked about the culture is what we should be looking at.
Okay, a lot of people want to take away gun rights or they want to diminish gun. I get that. That's an old debate. But we had the FBI and local authorities and the school itself refusing to act on the obvious for a lot of different reasons. And maybe it was malfeasance and maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was an oversight. But those three factors alone combined together to allow this kid to go out and get these weapons. It wasn't the NRA who missed the red flags. And the FBI were told the kid's going to shoot up a school, and they don't stop him, and then suddenly it's the NRA's problem? You got to be kidding me. That's a lame argument. Congressman Duffy.
Well, John, we've had guns in our society since our founding, and kids weren't picking up guns and shooting other kids in school. What's happened in the last 20, 30, 40 years that's caused this phenomenon to take place? If you want to address this problem, you have to look at what's happening in culture. Fatherless homes, violence that comes from Hollywood in regard to movies and video games. We have a slew of issues that have taken place that have undermined our families and our values. There's no faith and morality in our community, in our schools, in our families any longer. You could look at a whole subset of issues that are addressing the anger that kids have right now that cause them to pick up guns. I talked last night on Tucker about cell phones and a detachment that we have from
you're quite
culture
correct.
and society.
There are, Sean, if I might.
So if you want to
go to Congressman Garamendi to close it out.
And if you just go right to
last word
this
to
is a political issue that you've been driven for 20 years that'll come up with each new shooting. The bottom line is we have a crisis in America, and it's not guns, it's our culture and the way we're raising our kids.
Here. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. 844-551-8255 if you want to call the show. So Sean Duffy's telling you exactly what the problem is. It's a cultural issue. Nothing to do with guns. Guns have been around forever. But I go back to what does Chuck Schumer want to blame the problems of America on when we were playing the Quattlebaum clip that he aired earlier? Lack of diversity of Trump's administration. 83% male, 92% white. Yeah, the very same makeup from decades ago that had the safest country in the world and people who wanted to come to the country. Now, look, I'm not advocating for whiteness and advocating for maleness. I don't really care. I tell people all the time. I told you guys I was at an event in Oregon, and people are asking me, Kevin, we need more black people. I'm like, what for? What for? It isn't. Look, I love black folks. If they're here, great. If they're not, believe me, I said, I go places where there are no white people. Well, we need diversity. Really? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think they're fighting for more white people in Zambia? Do you think anybody's advocating for more white people in Somalia, in Ghana, or anywhere else around the globe? No. The only place we talk about issues and look at how many people of whatever nationality or gender or whatever is in countries like this. We don't talk about that. Nobody's talking about this in the Middle East.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177, or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.